All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Out of 70 agents, this is what we have. Either they're really experts in their field, they don't need to learn anything. So the goal here, that thank you so much for coming in, that hopefully you guys take in one nice nugget to, learn from and help your client. That's what we're here for. So hopefully you guys listening, maybe this recording is good, but you guys need to come in, right? Um, so let's get started, guys. So we're gonna be talking about the interest rates, what happened with the Fed recently. We're gonna talk about how's the market doing, how's the inventory out there. We're gonna introduce a few of our new agents, and we'll see how this goes. Anytime you guys have any questions, don't wait until last minute. Just you can raise your hand or start speaking. Right. So every Wednesdays and Saturdays at 11 o'clock, we do online meeting, right? So this way you guys can learn something what happened the previous week, right? And this is for you guys. We're trying to spend some time so you guys can, when you guys talking to your clients, you guys know how's the market doing. You don't want your client to be more educated than you being the realtor, and they're giving you, hey, did you guys read this article where you guys should be doing that, right? So staying up to the date with the market really helps when it comes to professionalism. You guys can have a full-time job, or a part-time job, but if you're a realtor, you have a license, so why not make money out of that, right? So please, these meetings and you guys don't have to turn on your cell phone. You guys can be driving, you guys can be at work, have your your headset on. You guys can just join in and just learn a thing or two, right? We do have the recorded versions of them. If you guys want to watch it later, that's fine too. As long as you guys can get something out of it, that's the point. And we're new to doing these meetings, so we're expecting you guys to provide feedback as well. So anything in your mind, hey, let's make this better, let's talk about this week, we're more than welcome to take in those ideas from you guys, right? So as of last week, you guys heard Fed increased their interest rates again by 25 basis points, right? So the good news is that they increased it only by 25 basis points instead of going 50, what they have been doing for quite some time. They increased it for how many weeks now? For past
1 year, nine
Yeah.
times.
9 times now. They never took a pause. So every 6 weeks they met, they increased it. The reason being is that every 6 weeks they get the data from different, for the whole America, right, from different sectors and everything, and they're trying to control the inflation, right? In order to do that, this is one of their tools that they have to increase their interest rates so that people, and it just does not affect us as realtors. It affects us as as a citizen. When you go buy a car, your car loan is going to be increased now. Your credit cards, anything that you open up, anything that you run is going to be paying higher interest rates because they're increasing the interest rates, right? It doesn't hit affects it directly to us and doesn't happen right away. There are some things that goes behind the curtain with them, especially with the bonds. Again, you guys don't need to know in depth, but just know that there are bonds that when the bonds go up, the interest rate goes down and vice versa, right? But since they increased it, but they did indicate that, and according to this article too, that they're gonna be, hopefully putting a pause to it in the next meeting. Hopefully, if that's the case, the interest rate will either adjust or come down. As realtors, as long as the interest rates are coming down, we want to encourage our clients, hey, this is the time to be in it. Reason being is that you want to put in a solid offer. If the interest rate goes down too low, which is, if they do just like how they went in COVID time, there's going to be more buyers out there. If there's more buyers out there, the price is going to increase. Simple as that. And we're going to go through our, stats where you see these adjustments, right? And on the second article there, you can see that the interest rates, this was from the 23rd, that continue to slide downwards. And this can have a positive effect on the spring now, right? The winter is done now, we're in spring. As a realtors, this is the time that people want to buy properties. Spring is a good time to be being a realtor, right? So if you did not close any deal yet, or if you're not under contract, this is the time to focus, because when the clients are ready, you want to be ready as well, right? The next slide, we have our news. This is from different sources, including Atom, what we use for geodata as well. So new sales improved for the third week straight. So this is new home sales, right? Newly built. The second article, rates down as buyers hit their spring market now. So again, we're heading into spring, so we got to focus on those clients. And lower mortgage rates. When we see that, as loan officers now, right, we have to pay attention when the interest rates are going lower, right? And you can be, as client, you can be under contract, but you don't want to lock in a client right away. Their interest rate does not need to be locked in right away. So this way, there's some agents out there or loan officers out there that don't lock in at the proper time. That's why it's really worth, talking to a broker or a loan officer that knows what they're doing. So like with us for past 2 weeks now, right? He's been locking in interest rates as soon as they're hitting their bottom.
Yeah.
Usually we saw that on Mondays and Tuesdays mornings, right? And we're locking in at that time. And then we saw the interest rate do go up, and those clients are happy now.
Yeah, most
Right.
of them will lock 5.99.
Yeah.
6-7 loan I close locking 5.99, almost like 25 basis point fees.
Yeah. And it's saving them thousands of
The
dollars.
same person paying $13,000, and we locking him for $871 with the 5.99.
Somewhere else was a buy down for 13,000 for the same rate,
Yeah.
13,000, and with us was $800. So huge
Let's take
difference.
one, we keep tracking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. So even house flipping, we saw that people were scared of the buying properties, and as investors, because of COVID, right? We couldn't, tell the tenants, hey, we're the new owners and you have to go, because of the COVID rules and all that. People were staying in, but there were still, by investors, there were still house flipping going on, but the profits, just because of the inflation, everything, the cost to build the property or renovate a property went up, so the profit went lower. So that's why you're seeing those graphs there, as house flipping from Adam, right? On the next page, so this slide is for the pending sales, right? So these are the transactions that were under contract. So in February, and then there's year to date. So February is the blue one, and year to date is the orange one. And you can see from 2021, 2022 to 2023 that in February the sales has been lower, right? It has been going down. The reason we already know are the interest rates. Interest rates are going up. People are scared to go under contract. You guys can be showing them so many properties. They really gotta love it. They really truly have to love every aspect of it. And their family member, the second person that goes in with them, needs to love it too. And they're usually the deal breaker, right? The second person that goes in, their uncle, their handyman, their aunt, or whoever, and they like, nope, this is not it. This is not it. And then there's a deal breaker. So all of that has to happen in order to go under contract. But overall, things have been down because of the interest rates, right? Same thing for on the graph on the bottom there, right? This is by month. This is going back all the way back to 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, all the way to 20. And you can see that right now we're still not on the high end. We're really not even the middle, still on the lower end for the pending sales. And to the right, you can see all these months from March 22 to January 23. Just look at the percentages. They're all negatives. And the highest negative percentage was in October 2022, negative 23%. And this is the time when we saw the interest rate hit almost like 8%. This was around 750 to 780 and something like that. It was really high, right? On the next slide, let's look at the inventory now, right? So when we say supply and demand, right, this piece right here, inventory, is like one of the most crucial part when it comes to the pricing. right? And it's simple supply and demand. You guys have a client, you guys showing them a one family, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, in Elmont, right? If you guys showing them, a one that same property and you guys see it like multiple times, right, on different blocks, there's similar property, there's another one. How many are you guys showing? Usually right now it's like 2 or 3, and then another one pops up another week later, right? So this is where we're seeing the inventory problem. If you guys had more options for that same client, and you guys, all of the properties are listed between 5 to 550, most likely you guys gonna keep, putting in the low end offers because there's so many options out there, right? So the more inventory the prices will decrease. But now, if you're looking at comparing this from 2021 to 2022 to 2023, you can see that inventory is decreasing almost 10,000. It was 40,000, then 33,000, and now we are 30,000 in February, right? And one of the reasons the person now, right? Think about this now. Why is the inventory? Let's say you guys, why is the inventory is low? Is that because let's say you guys have a property, you guys own a property, and you guys, because of the COVID, you did a refinance, right? And you guys are locked in for 30 years, 3.5% interest rate, right? You guys are locked in at 3.5. Would you sell that property, right? Why not? Because you have to sell that property, and now you have to buy a new one. What's your new interest rate is going to be? Yeah, so around 7%. And now you had the old mortgage at 3.5, the new mortgage 6.5, 7.5. Would you do that deal? Right? So people were like, no, this house is paying itself. I'm gonna hold on to this, right? This is gonna be I want to pay this off at this interest rate because this is like free money, right? Hey, how are you?
Thank you.
Yeah. Right? So that's the biggest dilemma that every investor or seller would have, any homeowner. Why would they want to sell it? Why would they want to refinance it? Because during COVID they refinanced it at one time and they're locked in at 3%. The lowest we have seen was at 2.99, right? That was the lowest. And
for
on
15
average,
year 1.99, maybe 1%. For
Yeah.
15-year rate,
that means he's really gonna pay off his
1.9.
property in no time, and it's gonna be, it's all equity. Once it's paid off, it's all equity, right? The building that we sold, right, that you sold, it was all equity, right? There was no mortgage on it. The person bought it a long time ago, pretty sure at low interest rate. The building we sold, now they took home like almost 800,000, 350, and they sold it for like 850. So
really tough deal.
it was a tough deal, but she made it happen, right? But so yeah, inventory, like I said, unless the seller decides they really want to upgrade their house or downgrade their house, but it's not just happening all over again because they're locked in at a good interest rate and they don't want to let go of that, right? Any questions, guys, so far? Rajbhai, you have a house. You want to sell your house? No. How much? Well, you bought it around COVID time, right, or before? Before COVID?
I went into the deal before the COVID, and then it took me like 6 months to close that.
It was a bank owned too, right? Yeah, I think it was.
Master's property.
Yeah, investors. Yeah. But yeah, again, if you're locked in a good.
3.5.
Yeah, so he's good. So he's in that category. Yep.
Right after.
Right. All right, guys. So next slide, you see there. This is the stats for Nassau and for Queens, and this is for last 2 years, right? And this one we're just looking for the price, right? And you can see how the price is increasing and decreasing. And let's look at when did it hit the highest, right? And this was in July 2022. The average was $916,000. Since then, we have been seeing, just like how we saw with the interest rates, the prices are going down as more interest rates are going up because there's less buyers out there and people are not throwing in their money just like how they were before. Nobody's going 50, or $80,000 higher, where we saw crazy numbers back in the days, right? Now there's more realistic numbers. If the property's listed at 675, you probably want to put it a little bit low, then do your research, but just don't need to go with crazy numbers, right? Hey, how are you, Ben? How are you, Tracy? I think we don't have to disclose any information, but just with the price wise, it was listed for
535.
575. Initial offer was
535.
535, and you had to change it to
Oh boy.
to what?
I asked the buyer first. It wasn't just me, but they went up to 589.
589. So you see, the client really loved the property. The client really was like, "Yo, I have seen enough houses. There's an inventory problem. I want to move on." But we did the research together, and she's like, "Let's go on the lower end and see, just like I was saying, because there's no inventory." But there are cases. That's why I brought this up. That if the client really loves it, they want to put it up. Hey, you have to go with those, because the client is willing to pay that price, right? So as realtors, we can advise them, even we can show them our geodata or Adam stats. Hey, this is what we're seeing, and we printed those out, right? And he's like, hey, the bank will appraise it around 579, right?
Yeah.
You saw, and he went up even $10,000 higher than that, right? And we were doing comps with the NAV the other day, right? The property value and the geodata value was around $100,000 difference, right? And our concern was like, hey, the geodata might have the without the renovation part, right? The price without the renovations, and these are like it's with the photos. It seems like everything is perfect, everything is like upgraded and everything like that. So the appraisal will consider those upgrades, right? To what extent, that's only up to the appraisal, but they will consider those upgrades. At the same time, if the property needs work, they will downgrade those two. Okay, it needs a new kitchen, needs a new bathroom, and all that, so they'll degrade those pricing as well, right? So that's what we're seeing right now. That the average is $866,000 right now. On the next one, we can see residential properties, right? You guys can see on the screen there too. So this way you guys know which slide I'm talking about. And this is exactly what we saw on the chart as well. The highest, according to this again, is in July of 2022 at $930,000. And previously to that year, it was $843,000. So it was a 10% change there, right? And right now, what we're looking at in February, that everything is adjusting to what it was about last year. Last year was around 860,000, and right now is at 866,000. So this is the property values compared to last year versus what is going on this year, right? Questions so far, guys?
Where's the AC running? It's cold.
Oh, Paul, you mind just turning it off? Well,
Just turn it off, please.
thank you, buddy. Oh, you got it. Paul got the jacket on. I was like, I'm good. All right, guys. So next slide, we're going to talk about Ravi. You're being right there. You're featured right now. Huh? So you have a website, guys. Every one of you guys have a website, right? Your website is yourname.ljrealtyteam.net, right? Your website is powerful as Zillow, if not better, because it's better looking. Your photos in it, right? Zillow doesn't. But all the property that we see on MLS are on your website. Even if they are not your listing, if the listing is not from our office, this is from the whole MLS. We pay thousands of dollars collectively to MLS for this, right? So we work collectively so we can get those properties to our clients directly, quicker than Zillow. So this is why our meetings, usually every one of you guys, when you guys started, that we start with KV Core, right? We go through our questionnaire, but we go through KV Core. If you guys skip KV Core, there's out of 70, put it this way, we have 70 agents, but our KV Core has capacity of 50 agents, right? So that means there's 20 agents that don't have KV Core. So we'll do a look at simple math that those 20 agents are just hanging their license but not productive. They don't need KV Core, right? So KB Core is like so crucial. Is like if you have a client, if he or she does not go in KB Core right away, and you guys not doing the research through KB Core, one, you guys wasting time, and two is like the tool is there for nothing. Then the tool is so powerful that even if a brand new agent just got their license and you have such 20-year experience with KB Core, it will make it make you compete right off the bat, right? So if you guys need any help with KV Core, ask me. Even the recorded one, guys, if you guys need any help, ask me. But you guys need to know KV Core inside out. James just joined us as a realtor. So next week we're going to be going through KV Core is the word. Like just how we learned Arrive for the other one, KV Core is it. We want to put every client in there, right? And you're going to have a website just like that with your name in it too, right? And on your own time, guys, you guys should be going to your website, right? And just browsing through. So this way you guys can tell your clients, hey, go to my website and experience this. If you guys haven't gone to your website, it's sad, right? Simple as that, It's a free website. You got to usually pay hundreds of dollars hosting it, making it, designing it. We're giving you everything in one package. All we're saying is just use it. If you guys use it, if you guys know how to, use it, you can guide your client to do the same thing. So use your website, right? Next slide, know your tools. We just mentioned KV Core, CRM, right? That's where all your clients gonna go in. You're gonna set up alerts for them. It could be rentals, it could be commercial, it could be, single family, multifamily. You wanna add all your clients there. Once you start showing them the properties, you wanna go to .loop. This is all your paperwork. Everything is in there. Even if they give you any files like PDFs for pre-approval or anything like that, you want to add it to .loop so you can go back to it easily, right? And some of you guys most of you guys are, I believe, the stat shows around 90% of you guys use Microsoft Teams and Outlook, so that's a good sign. It's better than texting. It's better than WhatsApp or anything else. You guys, send you guys those fraud alerts, right? And like I need some gift cards, middle of the night. If I need gift card, my brothers lives with me. We got like he got me with the gift cards, but yeah, yeah.
Yesterday, he said I can only text because I speak Mandarin, and I tried calling him, and he was speaking another language,
Uh-huh.
and he said I can only text, and I said okay, that I can text.
Hmm.
And he said I got your number from your official office website, and he keeps asking for the WhatsApp number. And then another person contacted me with the same text, and he said, "Can I have your WhatsApp number?" So looks like a scam, right?
Yeah,
It is scam, yeah.
yeah. First, red flag should be the phone number, right? If you never saw that phone number before, like we have no plans of changing any numbers. If any number gets changed, you guys will be the first one. Hey, my number changed, so this happened. Second is like we will not ask for any personal information, passwords, access to this, access to that, or any money for any reason. Very simple as that. Right? You guys know better than that, right? But I like that fact that you guys usually send me a screenshot. Hey, this is what I got, and then I ask for your permission, and then I'll share it with the whole team. Hey, that people are pretending to be one of us, right? So just be careful. That's all. Especially emails too. I started seeing since we got the mortgage one, we started
So
seeing
many.
that. Yeah, hey, wire transfer. You're closing now. I don't know how the hell they find out we're closing, and they start sending us wire emails. One email, like you download it, a virus goes in. It could be a trouble. So like scams, all that is there. So just be careful, even when you're clicking on it. So that's why if you start using Teams, there's could be no way that they have access to Teams, right? So when we are communicating, even our group messages, we can share any type of files. So why not use Teams? We can call from there. We can do video calls. And if you are calling me, and I happen to pick up the call from that computer, I can share my screen and guide you guys if necessary, right? So Microsoft Teams, use it. Without it, can't be a pro. That's what I wrote. Right? Can't be a pro. Any questions on that? Anybody having any trouble using that?
Microsoft Teams.
Microsoft Teams or Outlook. Any trouble? Right, was not using it. So I'm gonna point that out. Now he's starting. I gotta point you out too, bro. I gotta point you out. Right, he was not using it on this deal. The new 2 deals that he went under contract right off the bat, and both of them are under Microsoft Teams now. Right, different separate channels. Does it make Mohammed? Does it make your life easier with those channels?
We get after everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially contacting the attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So
And just following up until the deal closes.
Commitment.
And James, you're gonna see the mortgage and you're gonna see the real estate on, both of them. So yeah, so use them. As soon as you're going under contract, your offer is accepted. You're about to go under contract. Send us the information. We create a channel for you, and we go through that until hopefully your offer gets accepted soon. So we'll make that channel, and we go talk about that until the closing. We had like that 6 family property. It was in folder 1. That was the only one that was sitting there for like, I don't know, 6 months. Even Paul was so concerned about that property. Paul was like, that property is not selling.
But
Man.
when I joined the office, then it was under contract.
Yeah, it was.
After that, we took it off market, and it was like what, 2 years ago.
Yeah, but I told her that deal could not been. I told Josh today it could not have been done without you. Simple as that. Yeah, because otherwise I would have dropped it. Like the guy was like, hey, he wants to do it, he doesn't want to do it. The seller and the buyer, both of them was causing whatever trouble.
The buyer was an attorney.
Yeah, yeah.
It was harder.
He was representing himself.
But you did it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, my.
congratulations.
Yeah,
Yes, you did.
And the payoff is nice.
And when we use Keyboard on the phone, it gives some trouble. When you scroll down the properties,
Mm-hmm.
it just keep showing you the same properties.
And I truly feel like it's not the best app. Just like it's not the best app. I would use it from your laptop, simple as that. Like get used to it. And if you guys don't have a laptop for real estate, I would recommend just getting a Chromebook. It's like a couple of $100. It has and you log in using your LGA credentials. You see all your bookmarks, and it really helps. That $200-300 investment is going to be your best tool to help you out, and it's much better from the phone because they don't upgrade the
Sometimes
app
you
much.
won't carry your laptop.
That's true. Yeah. No, I feel you, but the app is not the best. Simple as that. Like I wish they do more upgrades. Hopefully they will, but I always get comfortable with with the Chrome, right? All right. So next slide, guys, is the follow up, right? So again, you can add someone to KV Core. That's great, right? But with the follow up, KV Core even makes it easier that you set up a client's their information, their alert that they're looking in this area with these specs and everything. The next day or a couple of days later, every day when you're following up with that client, KV Core really makes it easy. You're going to the recent results and you're texting them the new property that you actually handpicking. Right, you're just not sending with the randomly everything that's on the market. You're like, no, this property is the one that he's gonna like. Let me click on it, send via text, and put his name there and send it to them. Right. So how often are you following up matters, right? If you're gonna follow up, we're building relationships. So we're building relationship with these clients, right? Nobody in the world is going to buy a property from you like if they don't feel that connection, right? And that connection comes in through by sending them properties. I hear you, right? And if the system makes it so easy, it's just like we always give that example. If you have 10 clients, it should not take you more than 10 minutes to follow up with them. It's that simple. And you don't have to do the hard part. The hard part is just putting them in there the first place, setting up the alerts, and then just following up on that, right? And just ask yourself this. I'm a realtor, am I showing any properties today? If the answer is no, am I showing it this week? If the answer is no, am I showing it this weekend? If the answer is no, then we have a problem. Simple as that, right? So we have to be showing. If you're not showing, you're not going anywhere else. Nothing else matters, right? We have to be showing. If you're a realtor, you got to be showing. So if you're showing enough people automatically, because you're already doing the hard part, you're already finding the property, you're scheduling the showing, you're there showing them the property, the feedback is going to actually come from there. I'm never the guy that's going to be pushing them, hey, let's make an offer for this looks great. No, I showed you, I did my part. Your job is to tell me, hey, do I actually want to put in an offer or not? When they ask you, hey, I want to put an offer, what price should it be? They're the expert. I mean, you're the expert. They hired you, so you have to give them an answer. right? So you can be asking, they can tell, they already know the number in their head that they want to put in an offer for this much, but they want to validate it, from you. So you have to do your research. Just don't, come up with a number. Do your research and then, give them a solid number. And there's no problem showing them screenshots of what you're seeing on your end. It could be any report, any comps, anything that you see. You want to not just say, "Hey, I see this." You want to show them, "Hey, I see this from this source." Hey, hurry up, right? So it makes a difference, guys, right? So just ask yourself this: when is my next showing coming, right? And then look at your database and make it go, "Hey, I have to show this guy, this girl, this weekend, this week, or today," right? And we just mentioned, I'm just used to saying geodata. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. But for the new realtor, we will be calling it Atom because that's what the company is called now. Right? They took over. But for the old folks, all your bookmarks, every time you're clicking on geodata, it's taking you to Atom's website. If that's the case, click on Property Navigator. If you guys click on Property Navigator and sign in, you guys can use the geodata credentials and it will log you in. Right? So let's use this example here. The property was listed for around 1.4 million. Geodata Adams stats are showing on the high end 1.1 million, right? So we are off by a lot, right? So from you guys, what do you guys think the offer should be, or what question should we ask? Number one is the renovations, yeah? So how much the offer should be, though? What would you guys put in?
1.15.
1.15?
Yeah, at least. I agree.
1.2.
1.2? So far, your offer is getting accepted.
I'll go with 1.25.
1.25? Damn, there's free money just jumping up. 1.25? Rajama?
See, I'm not gonna approve
1.3? You see, he's going hardcore. 1.3. No questions asked. Inspection and appraisal waived.
that. You want the approval too.
Huh?
You want the approval too, not
If you want
just,
this need to happen, you have to work for that.
yeah.
Otherwise you won't.
And if my client loves it, then I'll just try the way I talk. I'll tell them that we're not paying this amount upfront. The 50,000 difference is going to be in your mortgage, so it's not gonna hurt if you love this property.
It really depends on them, right? How much work is done, how much they want to. If it's overpriced because of the shortage of the inventory and they want to go higher, you want to advise them to. If our numbers are showing 1.1, and you should be like, hey, 1.1 is what they listed for, and let's say they put in the work for $100,000, I'll go 1.2. And this 1.21, 1.22 should be a solid offer, I feel like, to start off with, if they listed for 1.4, right? And then you negotiate. This is where you guys are the experts. You know what I mean? If any deal that should not get killed, first of all, we saw a couple of times where they almost got killed because of small amounts. If you're getting killed, that means we are not negotiating correctly, right? So just like, instead of saying, let's kill this deal, let's make it happen. If there's a difference of $40,000, try to agree at 20. So we have to keep negotiating until the deal is done. If your client is really lowballing and they're lowballing, there's no point of negotiating. It has to be realistic when it comes to negotiating, and just try to not kill a deal when it's like $40,000 or less. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? All right. Next, let's talk about Home First Down Payment Assistance Program. So some of you guys may have clients that say, hey, I have the down payment, but I also need some assistance from the city. You could be like, great, I know a program called Home First, and that's a down payment assistance program. That's only if you live in the 5 boroughs, right? If you live in the city, right? So you can see here it's a down payment assistance program that provides home buyers up to $100,000. Oh, okay. You can have a seat. You can, yeah. See, sometimes my schedule does mess up, guys. We have a meeting and the calendar went in, and we have a meeting. So hopefully you can give her, yeah. Yeah, yeah. This is a trick. Yeah, yeah. Well, this is our office meeting. We're just going over a few things, right? And you can follow. That's the slide we're on, right? So this is going to be a down payment assistance program. So as realtors, we should just know what it is, and so we can guide those clients, right? So we're going to go through this briefly here. So if they're looking to purchase, they have to be a first-time home buyer, and they can purchase from 1 to 4 family. It could be a condo, it could be a co-op as well, but it must be in the 5 boroughs. It has to be in the city, right? And also they need to be they have to go through an education course that's taught by HPD approved counseling agency. So it's a simple course, they just teach you because they're first time home buyers and they're getting assistance from the city. So the city just wants to make sure that that home buyer actually is educated about the process of home buying, the responsibility that he's gonna or she's gonna carry for the next 30 years with that mortgage.
Online
Right.
or in person?
Hmm?
Online or in person?
I believe this is in person, right?
You're gonna get some money. and
But they
it's
still
all
have
right.
to, yeah,
I don't
With the
mind if
down-
I gotta spend a couple 6 hours to get 100,000, right?
yeah, up to 100,000 if you qualify. Yeah, yeah. If you qualify. I don't think the credit. Let's see. I don't think no. I believe it's 620, but I can double check on that for you, right? But also they need to have household income, right? Spouse, people put together. They gotta have a household income up to 80% of the area medium income, right? So every area in the city here they have different, their medium income. So we have actual a tool.
112, yeah,
Yeah, we have a tool, and it can go up to what? 100,
120.
$120,000 in our area because we're living in the high cost area, so it can go
What is
even
the
higher.
minimum they go to? Up to 120, but what is the minimum?
No, the income can exceed 100.
Yeah, it can go higher. It gotta be
No,
lower.
133, sorry, 133.
There should be a lower too, right? Like a lower bracket as well too. It's
No,
not-
anything less than that, they will qualify.
They will.
Yeah,
Okay.
it can't go more than that.
So what about if they had a previous foreclosure?
Foreclosure, I believe they gotta wait 2 years.
No, but if they have a previous.
Oh, well, if
foreclosure,
they're
would they
free,
qualify for
but
it?
no, but that's right. This is gotta be a first time home buyer. If they went through a foreclosure and everything, they have to wait at least 3 to 5 years, right? Depending on the loan that they had before.
But if they went for a short sale,
Yeah.
Same thing. Short sale, yeah, short sales, a little bit less time. Foreclosure is a little bit more time.
So, but if the time frame is done,
Mhm.
right? If the time frame is done, so they could qualify for that program now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So they can make a down payment of 3%, right? That's the lowest they will go, but they still have to. Those funds, that 3%, still has to be their funds. It can't be gifts, right? And the process is simple. First they can get their pre-approval from a loan officer from any lender out there, and they can take the class. They can hire a realtor and do the whole process. And the city will only release the funds at the closing. The city knows that, hey, they're closing, at this time. They'll work with the lender. Hey, you guys are releasing at this time. We'll be releasing the funds at that time. So it makes no difference to the seller, right?
Does the city has their preferred lenders?
No,
They go with
no.
anybody.
But they just want to make sure that the inspection that you guys will see here too, the inspection has to be done too, and it has to pass. Just like how we're getting an FHA loan, there's a little bit more of a strict. So same thing. Anything that comes to the city or the state, they just want to make sure that everything checks off before they release the funds. Right? Like we said, you guys know the whole process again. Everything shows there. but the only difference is just the education part, and that's usually the number one step that they should do. Any assistant program that they want to go through, right? So next slide, let's talk about the mortgage. So this is from March 23rd. The 30-year conforming conventional mortgage rates were average was 6.42, right? And that seems really high because we just spoke about earlier that we saw 2.99 as well. When you see 3% and then you see 6%, you're like, holy crap, the interest rates, are really high. They are, but because we saw the really low ones. And that was because of the pandemic, and we're not expecting that, hopefully, never to happen again, right? With the pandemic. So the interest rates most likely will not fall to that level again. What we're expecting, hopefully, that end of this year or next year, the averages are around 5%. At 5%, you can you can afford your affordability is right in where it should be, and fives is the average that we see, right? Hopefully coming down to. But right now we're looking at
Ah,
Maybe less than
that's
five.
a dream.
yeah,
Less
if it's
than
less than
five.
5, if they buy down, that's great. If the buy downs make sense, right? But right now we're looking at 6.42, and this is according to your Freddie Mac. Freddie Mac, as we always mention, is about a week time frame, and what we use is Mortgage News Daily, and this is on daily basis. The interest rates change, and these are the averages again for 30 years conforming conventional loan, right? And according to them, when I took this screenshot, was 6.38, and for FHA was 5.70, right? So some of you guys always ask about the conventional and the FHA loan, right? FHA loan is great for people with the low credit score that needs the helping hand. That's what the government will insure your loans, right? So FHAs are great. The interest rates are on the lower end, but those FHA loans clients, they do have to pay upfront fee for that FHA loan, and that is usually 1.75% upfront. That can be tied into the mortgage, but fee is a fee. They have to pay that,
But
right?
they lower the premium added insurance.
Yeah, the LLP right paid. So this way they were saying based on your credit, they were charging different amounts. So they even lowered that to help out those FHA clients, right?
Before they charging like 0.85%.
Mhm.
So right now it's 0.50.
Yeah, so they almost cut it in half. Just So that's another helping hand. FHA loans are helping hand. So let's say today's interest rate, if the client walks in and they qualify for 6.5, based on their FICO scores and stuff like that, and they have a household income of $100,000. So we'll do simple math. If it's $100,000, husband and wife, they're making $100,000, and the interest rates are 6.5. They're getting a 30-year mortgage, and they want to use $60,000 for their down payment, right? They might have more funds, which is fine, but for this property, they just want to use 60,000. And their monthly obligations are the minimum payments that they have to make. So they can have a credit card or anything, thousands of dollars, but we're only concerned with the minimum payment that they have to make on monthly basis. And let's say they have few of them, and they add up to be $200. And the property taxes, they're going to be in Queens here, and it's around $6,000. And for home insurance, our insurance people here, we can get you home insurance here, right? Anytime you guys go on the contract, this is a plug, guys, for our insurance. Get a quote from us. We shop around with at least 4 or 5 different companies. There's no brokerage fees. Whatever company charges, that's what we send to your client. And just get a quote from us, right? Anybody, all of you guys that's on the contract should be getting a quote from us just to compare it. All right.
Buy car, buy the place here.
And it's nice to pass it off to Alicia because she answers all the questions. So
Yes. Yeah. Few of you guys are actually client of ours, so yes, please support us on that too, right? So going back to that, so let's say the home insurance is $1,500 for the whole year, and their DTI, their debt to income ratio is 49%, right? Based on that, they can purchase a house around $540,000, right? So this is one scenario based on this number. Now, if the same couple start making $120,000, obviously they'll qualify for more. If they get rid of that $200 debt that they're making every month, they'll qualify for more, right? But their property taxes, we put $6,000. If that same client now goes to Long Island and the taxes are $12,000, this 550 will drop to below 500, right?
Yeah,
So
because
you have to make sure when we're talking to our clients, that's why one of the questions on our questionnaire has, hey, what the taxes needs to be below. That is there for a reason, right? So this way you don't want to waste your time or theirs. And based on 543, their monthly payment is going to be around $3,800, and you see the breakdown there. All right. Any questions so far, guys? Okay. On the next slide is a similar scenario there. $600,000 property. The credit score is really good. One of the lenders was offering 6.99 yesterday to them for $800 buy down. Right? This is the mortgage, right?
yes.
So for mortgage guys, right, we're growing as a team. So our realty team hit 70 agents. We're really happy about that. Few of our agents are on level 4, 100% commission. We love that. Those were our milestones that we wanted to hit for quite some time, and we're hitting those now, right? And that's thanks to you guys. So for the mortgage side, it took us years to build those companies as a mortgage team. And we're getting new loan officers, like our new loan officer, James here. He just joined us last week. Yes, thank you, James. Yeah, thank you. So we're growing. We have 2 new agents. Their license got approved 2 days ago, so they'll be introduced to the next meeting. So we're growing as a team.
Like
Sandeep
6
here.
mortgage,
Yeah.
yeah? 6 of them.
Yes. Yeah, 6 total. And Miss Sandeep right here too. She's a more loan officer of ours, and she has been with us for about 4 months now.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we opened up. Yeah, more longer than that.
More longer than that.
Yeah. On both ends. So, we appreciate that. So as our realtors out there, right, we never asked for the business before because we were working with a direct lender and they were not they were not offering the best interest rates. That's the hard truth, right?
Correct.
That's the hard truth. We're just, you know what I mean? And their underwriting sucked. Every time we had to follow up, it was taking a week to assign to an underwriter or reassign it to a different underwriter. It was terrible. So we never asked for the business because of those reasons, right? Now we're asking for it because of complete opposite. Now we're a broker as LJ Mortgage team, and we're working with one of the top lender out there, UWM, right? They're like the top lender because they're competing on a really high level. They became number 1 lender. They were number 2 for quite some time, and they just became number 1 because of the volume that they're doing, the customer service they're providing, and the clear to close that they're giving.
Who was number 1 before?
Rocket Mortgage.
Rocket Mortgage.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
right.
Rockets are really solid.
No,
too.
we signed up with
yeah.
Rocket too, but we're not working with Rocket. So far, we're working with UWM.
Yeah. So they deliver. That's the bottom line. We have a file. We want to send it to different lenders, but every time we do, UWM usually have the best terms and the interest rates. So why not go with the company that's going to deliver? And we know that we can close within 21 days.
24 hours, we can issue a commitment.
Yeah, the commitment is crazy fast.
24 hours. Less than 24 hours.
Yeah, the commitment is there with the conditions, and the conditions are reasonable. It's like, hey, the client needs to provide us this. The faster the client provides us those conditions, the faster they get cleared to close. We have done plenty of deals that close under 21 days, but average is 21 days. So this way you guys are relaxed. Hey, we're clear to close is the seller side. The seller will be like, hey, we're ready to close. We have that plenty of time. Just like that, just yesterday, we got the clear to close already yesterday, but they want to close on
11.
on April 11th. Right? But the buyer doesn't want to do that. So we're going back and forth trying to see if we can close earlier. So you want to be in that situation as realtors. You want to have a lender that can close the deal quick, and you guys are like, hey, we're clear to close. When are you guys going to be ready? So we can make that happen.
Yep.
And you guys know, just like how we're offering, FHA, we're offering conventional. We're going to be talking about a loan called DSCR, right? let's talk about that, right? So this is a loan. It's called DSR, stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. So it's a mortgage loan. So instead of getting your FHA or your conventional regular loan that you would get this what we call an investor's loan, right? So it's not looking at your income, right? It is looking at your credit score. And the credit score here shows a minimum they go is 620, but me and Josh were talking earlier that we always recommend 700.
700 plus.
Yeah. If it's 700 plus, you get the best terms, the best interest rates on these type of loans, right? So how are they actually giving you the loan, right? They're giving it based on the property, how much money that property is going to produce, right? If it's a 6-family property that we sold, but if it's rent stabilized, they're going to look at the rent roll, right? So they're going to be like, hey, we're going to give you the loan, but we're going to give you just based on what you can get, but what you are getting right now, right? So if it's on the lower end, they're going to obviously give the lower loan, right? So the mortgage payment that you're doing and the rent that's coming in, they have to balance out, right? So if the rent roll is $4,000 and your mortgage is $4,000, that they'll give you the loan. But if you're collecting less than that, then you don't qualify. And you shouldn't get that loan where you're going to be negative every month, right? But if those things do happen, you're collecting enough rent and you have enough money there, you can get this loan, right? And let's look at the next slide for the features here. The loan can go up to,
That
Mr. Ali.
loan, what's the down payment? Is it
20%.
Yeah.
20% down payment. Even first-time home buyer can do too.
Yeah, with the first time
start-
home buyer, we recommend the credit score to be
720.
720 minimum.
No, for
No,
3
you-
months.
Yeah, you do. We're gonna learn that. So, yeah.
okay? Does this loan give you a better interest than the conventional?
No, quite opposite. You're gonna get higher interest rate on this than the
But
But this is,
conventional. Yeah.
this is the investment problem.
Investment.
Yeah.
Investment, anything that's not non-QM is gonna be higher interest rate. Simple. And whatever interest rates that you're looking at today, just add at least a point to 2 points minimum, right?
Yeah.
Point to
Because
2 points. Yeah.
because
We have
sometimes people don't want to file tax return, right? They don't have enough tax, so they want to as a first-time home buyer with the DSCR program. So they can buy if they qualify regular rate like 6% with the DCR, the 7.25. If no income check totally is 8 to 9%. So DSCR is the best program from that.
But it says no employment verification, so.
No, nothing.
Yeah, your
No
income doesn't
employment,
matter.
Nothing.
So
we don't
like
care.
you said,
So-
if there is going to be no
Self-employed.
checking the employment, but earlier you said it's going to be like a 1%, but now if there is going to be no, you said like it's going to be 8 to 9%. Is there like any difference? Like, will they be checking at some point?
No, they're checking only appraisal. Well, when they do appraise, and the appraisal guy show how much is the rental they're going to get it.
So
The
it's only
appraisal
based
guys
on
doing the rental.
mainly the credit score. The
Main
person
main
has a
20%
good credit
and
score
the credit good
20%.
credit score. No late
Like a
payment,
no
everything.
doc. So the rent
Similar
roll-
to no doc.
So the rent roll basically decides your monthly payment.
Monthly
Yeah.
payment, yeah.
So if your monthly payment is above that now.
It's
So
good.
then you have to.
Whoa, what do you mean? Oh, the
Okay,
payment?
so if, okay,
You're
let's say my
collecting-
monthly payment is 4,000.
Mhm.
The rental
right?
income.
And my rental is 35.
No,
No, then you have to bring more down
you're
payment. to-
negative. You don't want to do
Okay, so
negative.
then I have
Yeah.
to bring the balance to make it up.
Sometimes if your credit score is 80, what you call 780, sometimes they can do up to 85%.
Regular?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending
So
on.
now
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm at 4,000 and my payment is 4,000.
Yes.
good.
I'm good.
They're 100%.
20% down, 720, 780, whatever price code, that's it.
That's it.
It has to be minimum.
Even
two
we can do
family.
commercial loan too.
1 to 4. 1 to 4.
Commercial, and that's 30% down.
25%.
Mhm. Any other
We
questions?
sign
guys?
up with this company. AD company is really good. I'm doing couple loan already.
So we
So
thought it was going to be
it's
much
good.
higher with the interest rates. So
But
with
it's
this,
not.
yeah, that's why the beauty of being a broker with the new brokerage with AD mortgage.
AD mortgage.
Yeah,
It's
the
very
interest
good.
rates are very competitive. So
Better than the no income check.
And the down payment now, what proof do we have? 1 month, 3 months?
2 months.
2 months in the back.
3-month reserve, 2-month.
2 months.
Don't
fee.
pay,
But
yeah.
even like.
Even they can get gift too. Like
Gift.
10%, 5% they own money. The rest one they can get gift.
right? So let's look at this slide here. This is so what is required for the DSCR loan, right? So we covered a lot of these things already, right? So we're saying the ratio should be 1. So you're collecting 4,000, your payment is 4,000, so you divide 4,000 by 4,000, you get 1. As long as it's 1, it's good. As an investor, you never want to advise any client of yours that's making negative. That's poor, judgment on your end. Is like how long is it going to take them to, make that all that loss that hitting every month, and it adds up quickly. So you do that simple math right off the bat, right? Credit score, we said we always recommend 7, even though they go 620, we recommend 700, and for the down payment at least 20%. Cash reserves minimum of 3 months, and the loan can go up to 3 million. But this you should point out, when you get this loan, there is a prepayment penalty, right? So you have to have this loan keep running, cannot refinance for up to 5 years.
Sometimes they give you option for the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, but then the rate is going to be a little higher.
Okay. So you get, just like how you're doing the buy downs and stuff like that. So with this, you have to make sure that either you're doing it, what you're doing, which years you're selecting.
Prepayment penalty should, usually is 36 months, isn't it?
For this one.
No, this
Different
is DSCR.
lenders,
Different
yeah.
lender, different program.
Different, every
But the
lender.
6
will have
months of interest.
Okay. So 6 months interest.
Yeah, 6 months interest. Yeah.
it. And usually we recommend this for 1 to 4 unit families, right? All right, guys. Any questions on DSCR before we move on? All right. Next, before we got started, Mohammed, we were having that conversation with VetX, right? Calling. So when you're signing up with VetX, they give you a dialer. So this way, when you're making those calls, you can have all those phone numbers or a list of phone numbers added to that dialer. So it adds calls automatically, and you can have your headset on when you're making these calls, right? So this is the concept of calling. You're calling clients. You can read off scripts, make an easy scripts for yourself. You can read the ones that we have on file, but you can adjust it to your liking, how you would have a conversation with your clients, right? Once you have that set up, and it should be very simple. Hey, few lines just for the expired one. How should I speak with the expired clients? You guys can draft one, send it to me, and we can go back and forth until you guys feel comfortable, especially for the newcomers, right? Same thing, you guys can get lists for all the expired listings. The expired listings are in your MLS. Instead of you doing the research, going by one, VetX does it for you, gives you in the list, you pick a zip code, but they charge you for that, right? Same thing for geo leads. You can target an area and get all the homeowners information from there. You can get FSBOs list. These are FSBOs, that's how you pronounce it, FSBOs, and it's for sale by owners, right? For sale by owner properties, and they charge you for that as well. And when it comes to callings, it's a simple rule. It's just a numbers game, right? So if you guys trying to call a few people, you're not going to get the answers, or you're not going to get the results, right? It has to be a large volume, like I said, and don't be offended if you hear no, if someone hangs up on you. They're not rejecting you per se. It's just they're, maybe not ready to have that conversation, right? And just move on. Every one of us have a different day, different mood swings and all that. Anytime you get that, you're making calls, that's the hard part. Just getting that, ball rolling, getting that, actually making those calls on a regular basis. Some of you guys try it one time and then you're like, hey, I'm going to do it next week. And then next week never comes. That's because you're just scared of those no's. If you just get that out of the way, you're like, hey, I'm just looking for one client. One client can bring me $5,000, $10,000 and can make a difference in a whole year. I need, probably 10 of these guys. And I have to contact maybe 500 of them. Let me make that call. It goes a long way when you start making those phone calls, right? And some of you guys look at other agents on their profiles and say, hey, this guy has 100 listings, and he only has on the buyer side he represents only 5 people, but he has 100 listings. That's because he's doing or she's doing everything right on the listing side. As realtors, our goal is to be on the listing side. We get full control of the transaction. We're representing the seller. You're hosting open houses. You're getting buyers agents. So there's the key here is to be a listing agent, but you have to do these things. Postcards, they work great. Your online advertisement works great. These cold callings works great, but you actually have to do it. Right? So you actually have to do it, and like I said, and devote some time to it. And it could be in the office. There's no harm. You guys can come in and start doing it. If you guys want me to do it with you guys, we'll do it together here. But start making those calls when you guys are ready. Any questions? Anybody has any question that you think that they will hang up on you on, or they will have any objections? Anything on there? Because if they're not interested, that's fine. We're moving on. But anything else that will scare you? Yeah, it was banned. Yeah. Like we said, now there's not even they haven't updated us. But if you guys want to at least learn the programs and start, practicing the scripts, that'll be helpful.
Most of the people are using Rhinogold.
Yeah.
Most of
It's $59.99. They charge you per month or?
Yeah, so they charge you on different bases. So they charge you one for the dialer, right? I believe it's $100, and then they charge you for
Every month.
and they charge you for different things, or you can just get that.
You finished?
Yeah.
It's gonna be stupid. Since we're expanding, we're sent agents, maybe we can hire someone to do the cold callings.
Yeah, but there'll be 60-40. There'll be 60-40 leads for you.
Then
Paul.
60-40.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
You want to kill it.
Yeah, we can do that,
I don't
Paul.
have to do it.
People do that.
No, I used to do it. As hell. I would never do it
Which one?
again.
The phone number for the sellers.
Yeah, they will give you the list. Yeah, you pick an area.
Is it on KB Core too?
Fizbos?
Yeah, or do we have to use Redex?
No, RedX. We have to. If you want to purchase the list from them, they do it. There's other competitors out there too. Mojo Dialer, they do similar stuff.
So we have to give them some area code.
Yeah, zip codes. Zip codes. Yeah, they go by zip codes.
I spoke with one of the Reddit guys, and they were telling me that if I want, they can just get the whole database from the Phoenix or Brooklyn.
Oh, counties wise, counties. So if they're doing it by counties, they're charging by county, that's fine.
The problem is though with the expired listings is a lot of agents don't update it, so it might look expired, but they actually property sold.
Mhm.
So you might have to do a little bit of research before you actually make the call to the owner for those properties.
Yeah.
Which one is more suitable? The expired one or the one is expired one? the
What do you
other
guys
one is-
recommend? Anybody recommend?
Yeah, someone has the.
I would say for sale by order.
what's it about?
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Because expired, they already put it on the market for some time, right? And they worked with an agent. With Fizbos, they tried it. And they're like the perfect, like, hey, I know you're trying to, we spoke about that in the other meetings too. When you're having a conversation with the seller, right, for the Fizbo, you want to tell them, hey, I understand that you want to save money on the commission, but I'm going to give you more than what you're looking for, right? And there's videos, and I have shared many stats with you guys for the homeowners. When they do it themselves, they always sell it for a lot less because they're tired of showings and they're tired of negotiating and they're going through so many other problems. And that's why they're selling the house in the first place. And then the process of selling, they didn't know that, hey, why would I want to pay $20,000 to the listing agent for that? Yeah, Paul?
I told Hassan Abdul, there's someone in Pakistan wanted to give me leads.
Someone from Pakistan wants to give you leads.
But I have-
From where though? Like from Pakistan?
But his wife stopped it.
Yeah,
But it says
I
his
saw
wife's
the guy
not.
already.
Guys, it gotta be reliable sources. I mean, we're giving you the direct
You
sources.
know, the vice versa happened. One of the Guyanese guy, he wanna give me the lead, but wife stopped.
Yeah,
That's a single lead.
there's a single lead.
Not a database.
Yeah, you have to ask him how many
You go to
leads.
the Pakistani guy, I say, happened with me, the Guyanese guy.
Tell us how many times you went to the house.
Yeah, I give him
All right,
everything.
next.
All right, guys. So for newcomers, right, especially newcomers, we highly recommend that you guys started with OpCity, right? OpCity does not have the greatest leads, right? Those are the facts. Those are the feedback that I get. But then again, I still see clients, our agents closing deals.
I did close one with Upstate.
Yeah, with
Tani
Op
bhai-
City.
Tani did too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there it
I
really
did
depends.
like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So Op City works. So Op City is like, you're not obligated to get or pay them anything until you close a lead, right? But with that, you're gonna pay them up to 38% of your commission when that happens.
That's too much.
So that he said that's
That's
too
too
much.
much.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, but if
There
you
you
do
go.
it in volume,
He
then
said
it-
that's too much. She says better than nothing.
Yes.
So that's exactly it. You know what I mean? And that slide right there will show you that if you guys come in with $10,000 check, then you guys are starting at level 1, 80/20. 2,000 will go to the office, 3,800 will go to Op City, and you will take home 42. Again, you guys be the judge. Is 42 nothing or something? You know?
So if you're at 100 though, you don't have to give Belgium the 2,000.
No. You rather pay them 38%
Please mention
and
it.
pay us
That might be-
$5.99.
that might be profitable
You see?
there.
Yes, there you go.
Right.
So
That
level
might be
4 guys
profitable
here.
Right?
So he rather pay 38% to Op City and then just 600 to the office.
Yeah, but then
That's
then
what
it
I
works out, right?
There you go.
Because instead of me making 40,
We're still happy. As long as you're getting the deal done, we're
Alright.
happy. Right?
checking.
You
Yeah.
can ask.
Yeah.
He's already handled.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. So when you start closing few deals from Op City, right? So the way I like to do this, right, is like you don't want to start paying for advertisement from your pocket, right? Because whatever savings you had, or if you don't have another job or whatnot, right? So you don't want to start burning money on advertisements, even with postcards. That's why I say postcards are expensive when we're doing them, and we have to be consistent. So they burn money. So with Op City, you don't have to do that. So they keep giving you leads. As long as you follow their rules and everything like that, you follow their update their database, and on average, if you're making 4,000, 5,000 out of a transaction because of their lead, I think we should forget what you're gonna pay them, right? To start off with, why not get those leads in, right? Once you start closing, you started collecting. You have closed 2 deals, and you have over $8,000 in commission, right, from Op City. So just from those 2 leads, you would want to probably start setting a little fund for the side for Zillow, right? With Zillow, you say, hey, I want to spend maybe $400 per month, but this way, if I do that $400 per month, 12 months, that's 4,800, right, for the whole year. And we said people who are co-brokering with us, Mohammed is, right, a few of our other agents are as well, we'll pay up to $200, right? But if you guys are willing to go even higher in Zillow, and you guys want to have that, a talk with us, we'll go higher as well, right? But to start off with, at least $200 for the co-marketing.
Is this month to month or there's an agreement?
Which one,
I
for
think they have
Zillow?
6 months.
6 months agreement for them. It's just that you can change zip codes, but you just can't change your budget. So that's why I always say start small, pick a zip code, see how that goes, and then increase it. But there's some agents that started at 1,000, and it was like, oh, 1,000 is too much. I was like, yes, you should have started at 500 if you're thinking of 1,000.
So
So
we paying like $200 per month, right?
yeah, right now we have legitimately, I think 5 or 6 agents of you guys, and we have, around less than 1,200 right now.
You guys already started?
Yeah, we started
Yeah.
already. Yeah. So Cobra.
So I think people that you guys already have profile, pick a zip code. You guys have closed deals already with Op City. So why not do this and have those leads come in directly to you? And you don't pay Zillow anything at the closing. There's nothing at the closing. Your commission, and these are not 60-40 leads either. These are your leads, right?
You're paying your standard.
Yeah, because even we're co-brokering, we're getting those leads. And then we have our loan officers like James, he would call those leads. All those Zillow leads, they're coming out from these co-brokers, from other agents. So every time the client wants to see a property, they show interest, they get their lead for that same client, they're showing the property, and we're getting it the mortgage side. Right? Any questions, concerns, feedback, guys? All right, guys. All right, next slide, guys. This is for the realtors who are really the realtors, right? They just want to show off that they are realtors. You can get your custom plates through DMV. Probably 100% commission. You can customize that, Robbie 100%. But anything you guys like, right? All right, guys. So I feel like in
Huh?
real, huh? Go ahead. You have something?
No, no, 188.
Yeah.
Yeah, ready, guys.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. What
Lucky,
is
lucky
it?
have it.
Yeah, I have it. It's just LJ.
Oh, thank you.
500%.
No, nobody even called me.
Everybody will know where you are.
What? He said nobody called. He's like, you gotta put your phone number as your plate, I think. Right? Hassan, or your Instagram.
I know a guy who could.
Hey,
I know
I'll
a guy
look
who
at.
could wrap your car if you want.
I was waiting.
So he had falling short.
I was waiting
No,
for
well,
you.
the guy will wrap it and put your face and
Yeah,
your
yeah.
number and everything.
No, few agents they go heavy, man. I don't think we need to go to that level. Your business card gets the job done,
And you're advertising your stuff.
right? Going to church with that, like, come on.
Just,
Church is good.
Church is good. He said, church is good advertisement. Yeah,
I get business from the nail salon.
Yeah.
that's how you hit 100%. It was from everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere. Yes. All right. So when it comes to sales, guys, so we're talking about 100%. Our goal is that every one of you guys hit 100%, because we're trying to set an example that with our brokers you can grow and keep your commission and stay with us for a longer term. And we're going to be a diverse family, basically, with different agents from different things. And our goal is to have just you guys complete 14 deals and you guys at 100%. You guys are already hitting it. And one way someone hit a cheat code, right? And we want to talk about that, right? So we said we will do rentals before. The rentals did not count as anything for your commission structure, right? So now every rental that you do, it will count as 1/10 of a deal. So you do 10 rentals, that will count as one deal for you, right? Does that make sense? Right? 10 rentals, one deal, right? We also said that if you refer another agent from another company that comes in and they mention your name, we have that as a referral list. That counts as a deal, right? So you have that two ways, right? Yeah, Paul?
What about closing deals and rentals?
Yeah, they count two separate deals because you're going to be doing rentals.
Do you count them together?
Yeah, everything. Yeah. Even the referrals too. Let's say you have one referral.
One day.
So yeah, we're going to talk about that. Can we, right? So we had with Jennifer, we had one referral, right? Since she joined, we had one sale, right? And we had 138, right? Right, rentals. Yeah, 130, yeah. I'm telling you, like you have set an example, right? So that's what we want to talk about is your focus, right? It doesn't matter what you do, as long as your focus is there and you do this every single day, you actually become an expert at that. And she's a living example of that. And if you look at the next slide, we don't even have it for sale, it's for rent. Everything she does is for rent, right? Even he got a listing after she wants to rent it out, is going as a rent, right?
No
Yeah.
patience.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, right? So if you guys are brand new agents, right, you guys should focus on rentals as well, right? So there are people who wants to look for a rental, do a quick deal, and you can get paid in overnight, basically, right? And now we want to talk to Jennifer. How did you actually focus, and how did you actually reach this goal? Jennifer, please go ahead. You want to come? Yeah. All right.
How do you reach the goal? I mean, I've started by recommendation. You have to work for and it has to be about the life. Once you I don't go out there and look for these apartments. It comes to me. And don't focus on the clients, the tenants. It's not gonna get you anywhere. You have to focus on the listing of the apartment. So let's say you do a good job for your neighbor. She's like, okay, I know Jennifer, she did a great job, she referred you, you rent it. That's how I get my leads. I don't look for it, I don't drive. First, I used to drive around, and if you see a for rent sign, you just take the number, you call the owner. Likely she gives you, most likely she doesn't give you the rental, but that's how you build it up. And then if you're in the system like that, it's easy. It's very easy to get, but you have to make sure the landlord is happy though. You have to do your due diligence. If you don't do that, then you're not gonna get the deal coming to you.
And how about the programs?
So the program is like closing on a deal, like a regular sale. That's how much money you can make. For like a 3-bedroom program, it's a lot of work though. It takes the same amount of time as closing on a house. But if you're renting a 3-bedroom apartment, you get close to $6,000 on that deal. A 2-bedroom, you get about $2,500. And a 1-bedroom, you get 23 and change.
You said program.
The city program.
Oh.
They have
City Fabs.
City Fabs, they have different programs, City Fabs, Section 8, and Fabs. So nobody wants to work with Section 8 anymore because they do not pay you a broker's fee and they don't pay all the holding fees. But if you work with City Fabs and Fabs, they pay the landlord from the time you sign the lease, the landlord started to get paid, which they are happy about. Because like I said, the process takes about 2 months just to close. And the difference between FEPS and City FEPS, City FEPS, the money is paid by the city. And FEPS, the money is paid through Albany. And this voucher can last up to 5 years for one client. And you find this client, once you're out there and they heard of you, like for me, I get these clients, the voucher clients, because much caseworker, when they have these, then my number directly. But main thing, like I said again, you have to get the apartment. Without the apartment, you have a client, makes no sense.
I have a question. You have to convince a landlord.
Very easy, just explain to them how much money they're gonna be making.
So, so the other part is landlords are scared of tenants.
Okay, so
not
the
paying
landlords
rent.
are scared because 95% of the people who are in the system, they're troubled.
Okay.
But the money is guaranteed.
The money is guaranteed.
The money is guaranteed. That's what you have to convince the landlord, because a lot of people are struggling right now
Yeah,
and the rent is crazy.
yeah.
So people cannot afford to pay the rent. So landlord now, if not to rent an apartment, then 2 years ago, because of what happened during COVID and a lot of people didn't pay rent, these landlords, they don't know if they want to take, so they're interviewing tenant over tenant.
Okay.
Then you're wasting your time because next thing you know, and now a lot of landlords, they're working with 3-4 agents.
Okay.
And if you're a newcomer, you try to stick and see if you can close the deal with them. But like for me, if I have a landlord and they're working with 3-4 agents and show the apartment on their own, that's wasting my time. Yeah, that's totally wasting my time. And I said to my another thing I don't do, I've never had a landlord sign a disclosure for me. I give them the opportunity to find someone on their own.
So that's building trust too, right there.
You have to, yes, you have to be honest with these landlords and let them know. I mean, it's quick money, but you cannot just go around the corners and say, yes, you have to know what you're telling them.
But for the landlords, it's safer than doing renting out rent.
It is safer because like I said again, the money is guaranteed. And with City FEPS program and FEPS program, they pay you the holding fee. Then they paid you the first month's rent. Then they pay you 3 months in advance. So when the landlord collect their check, it's over $10,000.
And it comes directly from the city?
Yes, City FEPS, the money comes from the city. 2 years ago, before COVID, they used to pay the landlord 12 months in advance. But now the city don't have that much money, so they're paying them 3 months in advance. So it's a heavy check the landlord is getting upfront, but the process is long. So make sure you have a Section 8, City FEPS, you explain to the landlord, it will take 6 weeks to 2 months. Because they will be bugging you.
How's the renewal process, right?
So after it's done, every year, City FEPS, they raise the amount that they pay to the landlord. The voucher goes up. So they will send you, like I think maybe 2 months before, they will send you a mail asking you if you want to renew the lease. And if you wanna renew, they'll give you a breakdown with what your increase is going to be like. If you don't want to renew the lease, you just give the tenant notice.
Okay.
And that's about it. But the program, a lot of people is doing now because it pays. And you as a broker, you walk away with double, triple time the money you're supposed to make on a regular rental.
Nothing on the
So
renewal though.
if you can focus on that, but don't focus on the tenant, like I'm saying, try to get the apartment.
And over the weekend कितना करना ना?
That's the most. easy.
कार खाली कराना.
Right, there are people looking at.
No, lease it, lease
So
it.
that's
Lease it.
simple as it is, yeah,
Are you getting this apartment as a listing or you word of mouth?
word of mouth.
Like
know a
by
lot of
walk the
people,
tree
that's-
But you're convincing them too, right? The landlord, the
Not
pros
all
and the
the
cons,
land- but
they know.
like, not all of them I have to convince, like, there's this lady I'm working with right now, she, not far from here, so she listed with another realtor, she was doing Section 8. So I think she came to the office one day and someone gave her my card. She called me and she did not disclose to me she's working with another agent. You know, I mean, you can't blame them. They want to see who's going to rent their property. So when I went there, she explained to me she only won the program. But she don't want Section 8 because the other agent was giving her Section 8. And when she realized what's going on, she's not going to get paid. So if you know the system, you can have this done soon. But if you don't know the system, it takes long. So I said, okay, I'll help you. So I sent a client, she liked the lady, everything went, I did the paperwork. And she signed up with the other agent like 3 months ago, and she couldn't even get an inspection. So because I know my way with these people, I already got her an inspection for once. And she's happy about that. But she was the one who came to me and said she wants the program. And the thing is with the program, because the landlord is making so much more money, they're getting like over $3,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment, and that doesn't include any utilities. And if you put a 3-bedroom apartment on the market for cash, it doesn't sell. How many agent here doesn't have an apartment, they're 2,800, 3,000?
Yeah, no.
And you have to
More,
reach out to other agent to help you, but it's not renting. And another thing, if you go to a landlord and they want to give you a listing and they're like, listen, I want 3,000 for this apartment, but only 10, be honest and say, listen to me, the market value, yes, everything is expensive, but I can't find nobody who's gonna pay you 3,000. Tell them, don't give them the impression, oh, you will find somebody for them, because that's impossible. I'm doing the rental, and I would not find somebody to pay $3,000 cash for an apartment.
People nice and then. Client, borrower.
How you qualifying them? Is basically asking. You qualifying them?
For the tenant,
Yeah.
simple thing, just like you need now, because like I said again, it's get hard, you need their credit report. Some landlord wants to do background check and everything, but those landlord that I'm working with, I let them do it. I give them all the information, you ask the tenant if they're okay, and I let the landlord do the background check. But mostly what you need to rent is their pay stub, their social security, their ID, their W-2, and basically that's it. Credit report, a lot of landlords want it, but half of New York City people, they got bad credit. Majority of the people, they got bad credit. But so far, I only work through referral. If I don't have any apartment for a week or so, I just relax. I don't go out looking for it. I rented a man basement, and after I rented the basement, he gave me 4 other basements. Basement is illegal to rent too. You're not supposed to. Just make sure whenever you renting it, everybody wants to live. Don't give the client a receipt that it doesn't come back to you. Because I've had a situation.
Nothing.
Enough.
You said no.
But
I'm a realtor a long time.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear all this.
Yeah.
So we stop this here.
But I'm just saying,
But yeah, the
you know,
focus
just be
though.
careful,
Yeah.
yes,
Just
you
be
have to
careful with everything that you guys do.
What you do, because it's your license.
No.
So that's about it.
But don't say no to rentals. That's the thing, and learn about it. And Paul, just thank you for that, Jennifer. Right? And Paul just completed his first rental with the
But the city,
with
right?
the city. How was that process, and especially the inspection part?
Yeah, especially.
It was you pulling your hair. It was tough. And what was the issue with the water?
The water was
Too cold? Too hot?
Yeah, it was too hot, it was too cold, we put a brand new water tank.
So new tank might be.
Yeah.
So whenever these guys come, they fail you, they're gonna
Hassan
come
bhai?
in 2 weeks. In the meantime, the
Next.
landlord is going crazy. So,
Funniest thing.
I don't even
you
know.
do one thing, you fix that one thing, another one comes and fails you. on something.
But I know a lot of
That's what
headaches,
happens.
but we understand there was a lot of headaches. How about the payout?
Yeah, it was good, so I'm good for 3 months.
So when
So-
you taking me for lunch?
Yeah, there you.
Gentlemen, buy coffee every day.
Yeah, I would like coffee.
Okay, the next, Yehuda.
All right. Thank you. So guys, yeah, focus on rentals. All right, next we want to give a few minutes to our new home inspector, right? He's our realtor, and he really put in hard work and got his license, and already started doing his home inspector jobs already. And we want to introduce Mr. Hassan Raza.
Just, you guys know me, everybody. I just got the license. This is just for, give me business as you can. That's the only thing I can. You guys know home inspection, everybody. So I don't need to explain, what's going on with it.
No, we
But,
should. Is
Uh,
it required or not?
being a real estate agent, I assure you, I'm not going to be a deal breaker. I know what's the feeling for that. Yeah. So I'll try my best.
You're not going to give me a
So-
list this long, right?
No. And usually it's not for the agent. I work with the buyer. I'll give whatever the buyer, and I know what to give. So simple as that.
Make sure no deal breaker, right?
Yeah, 100%. So
Yeah, very hard to.
No 40-page report.
No.
No 40 minutes.
actually, the report always be around that pages.
But one piece.
But
But
it's
the
going to
thing
be-
is that, if there's a major problem, I have to do that because I have to save my license.
Yeah.
Yeah, the minor thing I
No,
usually,
no, it's on.
yeah. So, I use the latest version of the software, for the making report. It's very easy to understand. Though I have the reports, I never see it. The home inspection report, the inspector send it to me as well.
Hello?
Legally, he cannot send to the, agent. Yeah, it's just your client. It's up to the client who wanna give it to, So legally, yeah, I do have my card, and usually, it is.
That's right.
It's better to, I text it to you guys too.
Yeah, we'll put it in the group chat.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll share it.
yeah.
You go
So you
anywhere.
have a different
I go
card
anywhere,
for
man.
the
As long
inspection.
as they give
No,
me
he's
my.
Yeah.
Look at his jacket, guys. That's his logo there. He's the guru.
You go follow Guyanese lead. They're only good, right?
We're free to make it, right?
I have it, yes.
All have a lot of.
Man, he went.
199, my guy charged us 550.
Yeah, no, we're gonna explain that. He's good.
Whatever.
He went off script. You're done? No.
I'm done, sir.
All right, I'm gonna go. Okay. He-
199.
No, the price going to be cheap.
Okay, no, we'll go over. We'll go over.
Yeah, because you gotta cost it.
He went off script.
For our
Okay.
company,
All right.
299. One or
I know I
2,000.
say 300.
One.
It's 1
So 199 is for the condos and the co-ops.
Oh,
299 for single family. 399 for two family. All right. Add every $100 for every family that you add. All right. But it's very reasonable. It's very competitive.
Since you're new and brand new, how long is inspection? An hour? Usually take 1.5 hours, 2 hours, for a single family. I'll try to, this much time you have to spend. Otherwise, a single family house within 40 minutes you can do it. But no, you have.
Do
to
you use
spend
drone?
like-
Let's see. I don't. You use the drone?
I'm waiting to try that. It's not-
$200 extra though for you.
Yeah.
So if you guys really want that view,
Yes, in my recent inspection, the last inspection, I used the drone. One of my colleagues, he went there and checked the drone. It's really good. You got all.
It's not the guy who does the inspection in 20 minutes in and out.
No, for sure, for my future inspection, I'm gonna do. I already done like 4 inspections.
That's good, yes,
So,
that's good. It's
no
better
complaints so
added
far. Everybody's satisfied, so, hopefully you guys gonna be satisfied too.
So with that and rentals and closings, hopefully.
Well,
Coffee time.
Starbucks will help.
But he did go off script though. We went over. You're the one we went over with these few things, guys.
Yeah,
He's
I
licensed.
a lot of things, but
Yeah.
I can't. So
Next year.
So he's licensed. He's insured. So there's no difference between him and anyone else.
Yeah.
So if you can support him, before you call anyone else, why not give him the business? So we asking for it because he's been supporting us for a long time.
And we paying up the 500.
Yeah. So the
I
inspection,
usually bring insurance for one time.
and he'll be charging more to the others, but it's like for
the
us,
company,
we-
for our company,
that's very reasonable.
So you tell the client to have somebody who can give you a discount,
Yeah.
and they save money.
it's good for the client as well. Right?
And let's talk about that too, real quick. The importance of the home inspection. They're purchasing a house, as we spoke about it. The properties are valued at $800,000, $1 million, $300 or $500. It goes a long way with that inspection report. They're looking for major defects. They're not focused on the small stuff. They're focused on the major defects, and we need that inspected. As a homeowner, that I have a mortgage for 30 years, I should know that this property is not a collapse after 6 months. Right? My kids are living there. I don't want my kids, to go through anything, any harm, because I didn't do a home inspection. So you want to guide your clients, hey, you really love the house, your offer is accepted, I would recommend you do this.
Yeah, the
Right?
person who comes along with you until inspection, he's a solid guy.
Yeah.
And you have to give him, whenever you buy, he doesn't, look after you.
Yeah.
What happened with-
But let's talk about the worst case scenario too. You do inspection, there are terrible things, and you don't want to move forward. Instead of thinking that, hey, he killed my deal, you can think that, hey, he saved my client. That, hey, I'm going to take this client to somewhere else, get him a better property, and they'll be thankful that you did the right thing. They're purchasing a property for long term. So please, let's do the right thing and make the right moves. Same thing for the surveys too, guys. When we're doing before the closing, let's do the survey. It costs $700, but it's worth it. You know your boundary lines. You know what you're buying.
Even for new renovations, I would recommend doing it because I had one literally like 2 weeks ago. The guy put on the microwave, the inspector put on the microwave, boom, all the breakers went.
Yeah.
Brand new
Yeah.
renovation.
But what happened, I have the brand new inspection, Mr. Jess, he recommended. The guy, that there's the boiler, furnaces, and everything. It looks like new, but they don't have the inspection, they don't have the date, the inspection report, boiler has to have. So they just.
Yeah, but this one, the guy tested the microwave and all the breakers were stripped straight up. Yeah,
So
everything was
inspection
on the
goes a
whole
long
kitchen,
way, yeah.
everything. The whole first floor basically was on one breaker.
Yeah, but the nice property that
Yeah.
all-
And it's a brand new renovation investor house.
And when we went to the basement, I had to tell him that there's a gas leak, and he said, no, everything's okay. I had to convince
Yeah.
him to check it, and there was actually gas
Yeah.
leak. And the ceiling he inspected, well, he went in the end of the block, and he took pictures with his phone, and he said, oh, the roof is good. And then the roof started leaking right
Yeah.
after a month when they bought it, and
Yeah.
they've been calling me since then.
That's why.
So that's
Get it
another layer.
blamed.
You need a solid guy like Hassan,
Sometimes, and we add, sometimes buyers are hesitant to take a referral
Yeah,
from
man.
an inspector. They're like, no, I want to find my
find my
own.
own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah,
That's
'cause they're like, the guys might not do the right job because they want to make the deal happen,
I didn't hear you, so.
The license depend on the size of the.
Oh, it was a new renovation, not construction. Yeah, the breakers pop.
What did it have to do with the service?
No, not survey.
That's what I'm saying.
The inspection, when the guy was doing the inspection.
For the drone, it depends on the size. of
All right,
the-
guys. Anything else?
Oh, and you gotta get drone in this area, you gotta get permission from GFA.
That's what I was explaining,
Yeah.
it depends on the size of the tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every don't need to be a license. If there's a certain size, you have to get the license.
The one with the cameras,
Yeah.
I think you definitely have to get.
Not all of them.
The little mini ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, they depend on the size.
That's why 90% of the guys don't use it.
Yeah. So yeah,
We
get
had the
the,
discussion about the,
Because-
the
Ravi,
license.
if you put it up there quickly for 5 minutes.
No, because remember,
You're
JFK,
risking it.
we're in the airport range.
I know,
Oh.
for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but.
Paul's like 5 minutes is not gonna do anything. Paul, in that 5 minutes, the cops can be looking right at you.
Yeah, in this area around here, right? So to Zone Park and right over the one we can stop. You can't fly your drone like that. You gotta get permission from JFK.
That's what
I
I'm
know.
telling you, it
Makes
all
sense,
depends
makes
on
sense.
the size of the drone.
Yeah.
You have there is a certain size you need a license in a New York City, you know.
Big one.
And the height
Yeah,
too,
big-
right?
the
And the
big
height.
thing.
What usually the home inspector using, this is the, you know, the smaller version of that drone. You
Yeah.
don't need a license for that. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what, you know.
No, that's what you
I'll
learn.
take
Yeah,
5 minutes, I'll
that's
put it
what, yeah. As long as you get it done, we should be
Yes.
happy. All right, so please give him business when you can, right?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and last but not least, for sure, we want to welcome our new agent from our real estate side, which he made the transition just 2 days ago, and for the mortgage side. So he joined us as a loan officer and now as a realtor as well, James. Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, hopefully when he's getting ready for our mortgage side as well. So instead of talking to Josh and I, we're welcoming him to, if you guys want to work with him directly, we're sharing his information so you guys can share, you know, talk to him anytime you guys like, right? So as
What
we're,
about the customer experience? I used to host a first-time home buyer workshop online, so
Or you like Jazz, I could call him 10 o'clock in the night.
call me anytime.
Just check, just check.
he's gonna be on Microsoft Teams, so you can message him anytime, have a chat with him anytime. You know, but same thing, what we're offering here on the back end, you know, you guys can start talking to him if you know, as long as you guys are comfortable. And how about finding us? How did you find LJ?
I actually just Googled.
Google?
Yeah, Googled something close by and had like both real estate and
Mortgage side.
Oh, this is perfect.
Nice, yeah. So thank you for that. Thank you for making that transition. Yeah.
I thought he found it somewhere. We're all over the place.
All of-
Advertise us all over the
Yeah, no,
place.
we're trying with the, you know, online advertisement to, with Indeed, right? Indeed, yeah. So Indeed is working too. right?
Indeed is working, okay.
So yeah, so thank you for that. Any other questions? Anybody have anything going on in their life that you want to share? Anything on their mind? This is not the AA.
Then it says contingent on listing. What does it mean? Is it under contract?
What do you mean contingent?
Contingent.
Contingent means condition of, because of what? What is this? You seeing on MLS?
Where it says for sale by owner or under contract or for sale, there it says contingent.
The status is contingent, status of the property.
Oh, status of
So
the,
contingent to maybe they gotta get court approval.
yeah, that could
If
be
it's
it.
like estate sale or
Condition based on
anything like
that, yeah. Condition is, there's a condition
You
on
need to
it.
sell
Yeah.
the
Estate sale or